Well, first of all, I'm going to actually answer your actual question. You asked why was your main character. That's the antagonist, not the protagonist of the film. Sam is. So he is not the main character of this film. In fact, you don't really have one, so I think that automatically disqualifies you because you don't even have the character.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
So my character, at least, there are two main characters.
Let me just say this. I will accept your answer, Jeremy, even though that response was funny. I will accept your answer. But Caleb still argued that a little bit better. Good job. Winner today is Caleb.
Hey, fuck this. Fuck this.
Well, I first of all will agree that Jason has killed more people. His best kill was probably his own franchise.
Damn!
Because as the series went on, he became a parody of himself. And you say Michael Myers was the same, and there's a reason why. It's because his
2 is better than 1, and another win by Jeremy from Movies Are Terrible.
Yeah, boy.
I'm sorry, Caleb.
I need a third. We need a third. We need to finish the trilogy. It's
I'm
one
sorry.
and one.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
there would definitely be. I might bring y'all back again next week. Who knows? But I'm just saying. What's up, you guys, and welcome to another episode of Real Debates Season 3. Man, thank you guys so much for coming back and watching this amazing series. I'm not gonna lie to you, this is the first match I've done since I was diagnosed with COVID, which was about a couple months ago. I don't have COVID anymore, but you know, I had to come out of here swinging and doing something very different. Now, normally you would see Caleb versus Jeremy in this thing. You know, Jeremy has gone against Caleb in season 1 and he lost, and then Jeremy went against him in season 2 and beat him. By the way, Jeremy is still undefeated, and we're gonna change that this season.
Oh, okay. Well, don't bury the lead, Alex. How are you really gonna rate me next time, bro? Go. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. But you know, I couldn't do this show without these guys. I have Caleb with me and Jeremy with me today. Today's match, the title of today's match is going, or the question of today's match is going to be, who is the greatest director of all time? And I'll be representing Spike Lee, and Caleb will be representing Akira Kurosawa, which is going to be
Kurosawa, the
goat. And Jeremy will be moderating. Man, this is going to be a very fun match. Before I pass it to Jeremy, let me just let you guys know the rules. Now, each round, it's funny because I'm getting back into this. Each round is 2 minutes per round. There are 3 rounds. The first round is the introduction round, where you introduce your movie or topic. Second round is the battle round, where you go at each other by picking apart each movie or topic. And third round is the final round, final statements. You let each other know what your final statements are. You can still keep attacking or keep explaining your project. And also it's up to the moderator's discretion if he wants to do the sudden death round. If he feels like we're evenly matched, we can do another round, which will be a minute apiece. And that will be the threshold for Jeremy to decide who is the winner of Real Debates. Now that I've explained all these rules, I'm going to pass it down to our moderator, Jeremy. Jeremy, take it away.
Well, thank you. You made that very easy on me. I got nothing to explain. I got nothing to do other than just shine as a judge, as I judge you both.
You judge me all the time. That's pretty normal.
This is a good point. We are all just constantly judging each other, and that's what sorry, I'm gonna power through this. Okay, so Alex, explain the rules. Basically, what I'm looking for is concise arguments. I'm not basing this on anything objective. This is preference based only. We're not gonna lose any friendships on this particular episode, right, guys?
No, this is it. This is going to be the ending of all 3 friendships. It's done after this one.
Of course.
All right. just wanted to make sure and that we are all on the same page. And now that I know we are, I want to ask each competitor to pick a number between 1 and 20. And the person closest is going to decide whether or not they want to go first. I am typing my number and I'm going to ask Alex, just because it's a nice little plug to a show. I'm going to ask Alex to choose a number between 1 and 20. So Alex, I am asking Alex 1 through 20. What you got?
Let's do 15.
All right, good number. Nice sturdy pick. 15. Caleb, what do you think, man?
Then I will do 14.
Ooh, very, very Price is Right strategy, and it paid off. The correct number is 13. Caleb, you get to decide. Are you going to go first? Or are you going to relinquish that start to Alex?
I think the last 2 times, I think I went first, so I think I'm gonna go second this time.
I respect the strategy, Alex.
Okay.
How do you feel about that move, man? Are you excited to go first, or would you have rather have gone second?
I'm excited to go
All right, dude.
first.
Nobody cares.
It doesn't matter what you think.
All right, here we go. So, Caleb. So, Alex, your pick is Spike Lee. Let me know why Spike Lee is the greatest filmmaker of all time in 3, 2, 1, go.
So I chose Spike Lee because Spike Lee has been a pioneer in this business since the early 80s, going back even further than that. I mean, Spike Lee did his first original movie called Do the Right Thing, where he was in that very same movie, which helped start off a lot of people's careers. One person in particular's career is Spike Lee, because he was obviously directing in that movie. And in that movie, it was just basically, you know, him telling his people, Black people, and also just people in general, to do the right thing when things are presented to you.
Magic Johnson. Who's your favorite movie star? Eddie Murphy. Who's your favorite rock star? Prince.
You have Martin Lawrence in the movie, another great comedian / actor who really grew from that up into where he is now. Spike Lee has done amazing projects, from She's Gotta Have It.
Who invited you?
And who invited you?
I invited all you fools. You were gonna meet sooner or later.
From as recently as Black Klansman.
Listen, when can you meet?
How about Friday night after I get off work?
I mean, Spike Lee is the top-notch Black filmmakers that we have had. A lot of people have pulled from his directing style, from people like Anton Fuqua, John Singleton. I mean, they reference his ability to create great storytelling films. And also, Spike Lee didn't hide anything. If he wanted to call you a racist or call you a sexist or call you something in a film and he's directing towards an institution, he did it.
Pina, all you ever talk about is nigga this and nigga that. And all your favorite people are so-called niggas.
And the one thing I love about Spike Lee, he's a truth teller, and he doesn't need necessarily Hollywood to back him in certain films, because he funded most of his films that we see out today, except for like his most recent resume. Spike Lee, again, a pioneer in this business, someone I studied under in terms of when I was in film school. I really do appreciate the brother, and he has a lot of great films that are classic up until this day. I end my time.
Very well done, Alex. With about 15 seconds left, you brought up a bunch of interesting points, from the fact that he's a pioneer to his filmography to your own personal connection to him from film school. So I think you got some very good points in there. Caleb, you've heard what he's had to say, but most importantly, set me up for why it is that you believe that Kurosawa is the best director of all time. In 3, 2, 1, go.
So Kurosawa definitely has one of the largest film catalogs of all time. You know, he started as a World War II propaganda filmmaker and grew into something that was felt throughout history. I mean, he's influenced so many directors over time. Everything from Star Wars to Spike Lee himself have credited Kurosawa with some of their favorite directors. He also has the most varied body of work I've ever seen. He's most known for his samurai films. Obviously, Seven Samurai, which has been remade a ton. Yojimbo, which has been remade a ton, and Hidden Fortress, which was the inspiration for Star Wars: A New Hope. But his catalog is so deep. There's a movie called One Beautiful Sunday that is about poverty that I watched this year for the first time ever, that felt just as relevant today as it ever has. He has things about biased media. There's a movie called Scandal that is about how the newspaper then flips stories and puts spin on them, and they say, oh, don't worry, if people find out it's fake, we'll just bury that later. It's just impressive that a director, you can watch a film from 60 years ago, and he touched on such human issues that it all is so relevant today, and it's continues to be relevant, and it will continue to always inspire new filmmakers.
All right, with about 25 seconds left, Caleb, that was very well fought. How are you feeling about the round?
Oh, I feel good.
No, nobody cares.
It doesn't matter what you think.
I feel like I had to cough. That's what I was feeling like.
You guys very well done on both counts there. Alex, Caleb, both of you guys did really good for that first round, setting it up, mentioning some of their filmography, which is good to do, kind of showing your familiarity with them anyway. So now that we've got the picks out of the way, let's go ahead and kind of talk about maybe critiques that we have of the opponent's picks. Maybe you want to just continue to drill home what makes yours the most important. It's really your choice. You can go any direction that you want. We did start with Alex last time. So Caleb, you're going to kick off round two. I'm going to ask you the same question. How are you feeling about kicking off round two, Caleb?
I feel good about
Nobody cares.
It doesn't matter how it makes you feel.
I feel good about it.
All right, here we go. All right, go ahead, Caleb.
So, yeah, I don't want to really trash Spike Lee. I think Spike Lee's all right. You know, I think he is a very certain type of director for a very niche type of director that I respect directors like that. But I don't see his fingerprints on cinema as much as I would his. And now some of that is because Kurosawa's had more time, but obviously I don't see that happening long term.
Hey! Ain't nobody trying to hear that bullshit, man.
I mean, just to get in some of the remakes of Kurosawa films, Magnificent Seven is Seven Samurai. A Fistful of Dollars is Yojimbo. Battle Beyond the Stars is Seven Samurai. Last Man Standing with Bruce Willis is Yojimbo. There's been even as recently as the season 1 episode 4 of Mandalorian was a remake of the Seven Samurai. This is something that continues to be brought up time and time again. And there's one thing that Spike Lee, in my opinion, will not be on the level that Kurosawa was, and that was the master of movement. Damn! There's so much movement in every single frame of a Kurosawa film that the frame is as much of a story as the characters themselves. He uses a lot of wind, he uses a lot of rain to keep every frame visually dense, visually compacted, while still being able to tell a coherent story. He also, with his film Rashomon, really innovated the complexity and out-of-order storytelling that you see in some Spike Lee films, but also people like Quentin Tarantino.
Motherfucker! You motherfucker!
Would not be around if there weren't films like Rashomon.
Well, you got about 18 seconds left. That was Alex. You can see how this is going to be a difficult round for you to climb up. That was very impressive. Very, very well done, Caleb.
It's amazing when I actually know the material.
I know, right? It kind of
that was
surprised me.
yeah. That's all right though, Alex. You had a fantastic first round and you got plenty of time to come back. So without further ado, round 2, Alex, in 3, 2, 1, go.
So guys, if you are having trouble sleeping and you need something to rest your head,
Let's go.
an Akira Kurosawa movie is the movie you need to watch, because I'm telling you, those movies, although they are interesting and very impactful, they will make you fall asleep within the next 5 or 10 minutes. Just being honest. At least with a Spike Lee movie, I would stay awake for at least the first hour. Just want to throw that out there. I have to agree with him. Yes, I would believe that his director has set the template for aesthetics and pacing in certain movies. But let's be honest, nobody who's watching this show probably has watched any of that director's movies. Maybe the remakes, and even the remakes are some of those are trash. Just want the Magnificent Seven. You have a stacked cast, and that was a trash ass.
We're not going to hold that as a strike against the filmmaker.
We're not, but we'll hold a strike against what it was remade after. That was trash too.
Time out! Time out! Y'all take a chill.
But let's talk about Spike Lee. Again, Spike Lee, another pioneer in this game. When you have movies like The Five Bloods that came out on Netflix, one of Chadwick Boseman's last movie, an amazing army movie that focused on a lot of Black Army vets who were going through PTSD while living in this army world of like dealing with their psychotic minds and going through life and all this other stuff. I mean, that movie, although it's a Netflix movie, is a freaking amazing movie that will keep you awake.
David, that man could fly.
When I look at stuff like The Inside Man with Denzel Washington, the first movie, not the remake, the first movie. The first movie was impactful with Denzel Washington, Chiwetel Ejiofor. I mean, Spike Lee knows how to tell a cohesive, dramatic story that keeps you going.
Tell them they both weigh the same. They both weigh nothing. They both weigh nothing, or they both weigh the same? Tell them they both weigh the same. Tell them they both weigh the same. Do it now.
When you're watching the movie, you don't know what's going to happen because either someone's going to die, or someone's going to live, or someone's going to have a baby, or someone's going to lose their baby, or someone's going to die because of
reality there we go. Things
that are going on.
Time up. Well done. You started off. That was a good one, Alex. I appreciated that. So we are coming out of the second round. Both parties have made some really good points. I appreciate Caleb acting like he was taking the high road. Like, I'm not going to criticize Spike Lee, but it's a good debate.
It's a good strategy.
I appreciate
right?
that. I'm not gonna interrupt, but Beyonce's album was the greatest album of all time.
Oh my God.
I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
Now I have to put that clip in there.
All
That
right.
was hilarious.
All right, so we're coming to the end of the game. This is round 3, and this is basically where the decision is going to be made. This is a round where instead of kind of presenting your arguments, I want you to tighten it up, kind of put the finishing touches on everything that we've talked about so far. This is an opportunity to reiterate. It's an opportunity to clarify on things maybe you missed in the first couple of rounds, or if you want to address any of the criticisms that were leveled against your respective filmmaker, which before we even get to the end, these are 2 excellent picks. So as far as the filmmakers themselves, I think this is a great setup match. So here we go. Round number 3. Caleb started the second round. So that means, Alex, you're going to be starting this final round. We've got the same 2 minutes. Let me know. Bring it home. You got 3, 2, 1, and go.
As I was stating before, Spike Lee, again, a pioneer of this game. You have him doing things from dramatic movies, comedy movies, action movies, and even just dumb fun movies like She's Gotta Have It, where you have just a lot of different characters playing upon one another. I mean, She's Gotta Have It was the template for shows like A Different World. So I mean, Spike Lee, in my opinion, has a movie for every different genre. When you look at Caleb's director, he does one specific genre in a sense. And yes, they're different in terms of tone, but they all have essentially the same premise. And with Spike Lee, again, there's something for everyone in this movie. I mean, even in his filmography as Jungle Fever with Wesley Snipes and some white girl, them having a relationship and showing the realisms of being married or with someone in a different race. I mean, that is a realization that happens on in everyday life.
What? Well, would you rather I go out and rob some elderly person, steal? Either way, I'm gonna get it.
So I just think that Spike Lee speaks to everyone, not just a specific audience. And I love his films. And again, if it wasn't for him, a lot of the directors that we see right now would not be playing upon him in the films that they create. And I think that Spike Lee is the one who set it up. And a lot of us young directors are taking that baton and just running after what he set up. So I end my time with that.
Well done. You had about 30 seconds left at the time that you concluded that, but I think you really did say a lot of what you needed to say. I really get a clear perspective on what it is you like about Spike Lee. Caleb, same deal. You've got about 2 minutes. You've got exactly 2 minutes to close it up, to finish it up. Let me know what your final thoughts are on Akira Kurosawa in 3, 2, 1, and go.
So I'm happy you brought up She's Gotta Have It, because I do agree that has influenced people throughout cinema. I think that's probably his most influential film, in my personal opinion. And to start off the third round, I actually like to use a quote from Spike Lee. So on November 21st, 2019, he said, "Akira Kurosawa is one of my true heroes. His classic film, Rashomon, gave me the premise for my first joint, She's Gotta Have It."
You got knocked the fuck out, man! Give me my...
So this is, again, someone who I think you need to dig a little deeper into his catalog if you think it's samey. He has everything from comedies to he has stuff about, workers' rights. He has stuff about corporate America. He has things about capitalism. And he even has some very odd comedies thrown throughout. He is someone that I think will be studied in film school forever. He is someone that visually has changed the game, but out of order storytelling that people like Spike Lee and Quentin Tarantino have latched onto really began with Rashomon and began with out of storytelling and different perspectives. And that's the thing that he's been able to capture for his entire career, is covering different perspectives, even perspectives he didn't agree with, starting with his early works as a propagandist for the government that he was completely against. And then when after that, he released much more liberal-minded content. And then he kind of ended up somewhere in between. I feel like he's a very well-rounded director.
Damn, with about 20 seconds left on the clock.
Damn.
Very well done. Very well done. So I don't think I need the final round this time, and I can explain the reason why. Going into this thing, you had an uphill battle, Alex. I mean, this is understanding that Kurosawa really, he defined the language that everybody else speaks to this day, right? And I mean, I think that's something you guys both touched on, is that like Kurosawa is kind of where a lot of it began, and he is often cited by the greatest filmmakers of all time to be the greatest filmmaker of all time. So it was a tough challenge going into this. But Alex, like you're one of my favorite debaters. A lot of times when I'm moderating, you end up taking the W. I like the style that you do, but Caleb, I think after the last time or two, decided to do his notes, decided to do
winner.
He came to play,
I actually did a little research finally.
He did. His last time he was like, he was just like, free balling.
That's how the last 2 times I just kind of went for it. I'm like, I'm gonna say what pops up in my head.
This was a bloodbath, but it was still really entertaining. Alex, I'm gonna be honest, I did not want to give this to Caleb at all. The fact that he picked Kurosawa made me angry, but there's just it's hard to.
I'm sure you knew before I was even gonna pick it when they say
yeah.
favorite director. You knew it was gonna be Kurosawa.
Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna say it for you, man. There's no doubt. But this was fun. This is fun. I really enjoyed doing it. Yeah, Caleb, you're taking the W this time, and I can't wait to see what comes from the upcoming debates. I know that Real Debate Season 3 is underway at this point, and it's been a lot of fun shooting these. So thanks, Alex, for letting me have the opportunity to do it with you, man.
Oh, anytime. And I have to give Caleb this W, because I'm not going to lie. When I presented it to Caleb and he was telling me which director he wanted to do, it forced me to watch some of those movies. And he's right. Caleb, like his director has essentially the director that a lot of people reference. And I knew going into it that Spike Lee said that quote. I was just banking on the fact that Caleb was not going to do his research.
In my personal opinion. And to start off the third round, I actually like to use a quote from Spike Lee. So on November 21st, 2019, he said, Akira Kurosawa is one of my true heroes. His classic film, Rashomon, gave me the premise for my first joint, She's Gotta Have It.
And then when he came out in that last one, I was like, well, shit, I'm done.
I was waiting for you to say She's Gotta Have It the whole time. I was like, say She's Gotta Have It.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, and you can't do Spike Lee without mentioning She's Gotta Have It, because that's like one of the projects that really set him off. So I was just 100%. Like, what the fuck?
Which is still, honest to God, is my favorite Spike Lee film. She's Gotta Have It.
Oh yeah, it's a classic film that still holds up. And I want to thank Caleb, this week's winner, for being here. I want to thank Jeremy for being here as well.
Absolutely,
for moderator. Like I stated before, you guys, this was a fun debate. I can't wait for next week, because next week we're going to have a very interesting debate as well. I'm going to get Jeremy back on the show as a competitor. Let's see how he does well in this season. Because
sounds like he's going to lose, Alex. Just throwing that out there.
We'll see. We just never know. But if this is your first time ever watching any of this show, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And Patreon supporters will get this episode before it airs on YouTube. So I want to thank you guys who are Patreon supporters. If you want to watch this early, just be a Patreon supporter at the $5 tier level. I want to thank my guests again for being on the show. Jeremy and Caleb, where can we find you on social media and YouTube?
Check out Movies Are Terrible. Check out Gaming is Terrible. Check out Movies Are Terrible on Twitch. Check out Caleb is Terrible on Instagram.
Yeah, I think that's all I'm on.
That's it.
Awesome. And thank you guys so much for watching this debate, and we'll see you again next week. Thank you.